Hi, I'm Revanth. This is part 15 of a web services video series. In this session, we will learn how to use Enterprise Library in web service. Important synopsis we will discuss in this video are how to use Enterprise Library in web service, installing required DLLs through Nuget Package, connecting to database for retrieving the details. So let's begin the tutorial. If you haven't watched the previous videos, I recommend to watch before proceeding this video. Enterprise Library in web service. In order to use Enterprise Library in the project, we need to install the Enterprise Library DLLs through Nuget Package. When we look at here, I have downloaded the Enterprise Library from the Nuget Package. I have installed it. Once you install in the project, it will be appear as a DLL in the root of the project. Let's look in action how to install Enterprise Library and create web service project. Flip to Visual Studio, click on File, New, Website. Select a template as Visual C#, framework as a .NET 4.5 framework. Select ASP.NET Empty Website. Rename the project as Enterprise Library in Web Service. Click on OK button. Once the project is created, right click on the project, click on Add New Item, select Web Services, click on Add button. Now let's install Enterprise Library in our application. So let's go to Tools, Library Package Manager and click on Manage Nuget Package. This Nuget Package window will be opened. Click on Online and enter in search box as Enterprise Library. So let's install Data Access application. Click on OK. Accept. So it is installed. Let's install logging application block. Let's make sure that our project is selected. Click on OK button. Let's accept it. Click on exception handling applications. Let's install that. Let's close the window. When we open bin folder, let's look at this. We have got a Enterprise Library .common, data and exception handling and logging. Now let's create a business logic to connect to the database through Enterprise Library and fetch the employee details. In the previous video, we have created this database and we have created a table TBL card in which we have inserted employee details, has a employee name and the employee salary. We will fetch these details through Enterprise Library from web service. So let's create business logic now. Right click on the app_code folder, click on add new item, select a class file, rename it as BAL, Business Access Layer, click on add button. This is the default constructor. Let's write a method to fetch the employee details. Public return the complete data as data table. Employee details method, in which we are calling database provider factory, in which we need to fetch the connection string from the web.config. We use this database provider factory. Creating the object factory equal to new database provider factory. Now create a database. db equal to factory dot create default. db dot execute dataset. It will return the data table, as we need to use this overload method. We have different overload methods here. So we use this stored procedure with the parameters. We need to return the data table. So tables of 0. So it is returning the data table. We have to that's it. Here we have not passed the stored procedure name. So we create stored procedure in the database. Let's flip to SQL Server. Click on CURD and click on new query. Create a stored procedure to fetch the employee details. This employee details. Create procedure. And name of the procedure has sp get employee details. Here we have to pass a temporary value. As a null we are passing. So let's take @temp has int or varchar. Anything else? Has begin. In between of this, we have to write select star from tbl curd. We execute this. We have to get the details. So let's select complete stored procedure. click on execute. So command executed successfully. Let's check whether this stored procedure is working or not. Like, copy this stored procedure name, execute, pass empty value, select this line and click execute. So it is working as expected. Let's copy this name and paste it here. We need a connection string to connect to the database. So let's flip to web.config file. To consume the time, I have already written the code. Let's copy and paste. This is the config section, and let's copy this and paste it here. So when we look at here, I have a config section in which I have declared the data configuration as the section in which it is connecting to the database settings, has the enterprise data. So it is using this DLL for connecting to the database, in which I have used a connection string for connecting to the database. This is the database in which I have used the connection string here. Here I have used a default database as an application. Here is the connection string for that. Suppose if you have different connection string, if you want to connect it to one default connection string from the business logic, as I have create default, so that it connects to this default connection string, even if you have many connection strings here. Now in order to convert returned data table data to XML, I have created a method. Let's copy and paste that. So by this method we can convert a returned data table to string. Let's flip to webservice.cs object. Let's write get employee details. Let's create a constructor for this business BAL. Let's call this employee details. So it will return data table. Let's convert this returned data table data to a string. And return the response. Let's put a breakpoint here. Let's save the project and build the solution. So build succeeded. Now let's run the project. Click on OK. Click on this Get Employee Details link. Click on Invoke. It comes to business logic. So it creates a connection string from the web.config. Look at here, we have connection string. So it connects to the database and gets the employee details. It returns again whatever the details it has returned has the data table. It is passed as a parameter to convert data table to XML. So it will return a string. It will return as a string. Now let's quickly create a client application and consume this web service and display employee details. Let's open Visual Studio. Click on File, New, Website. Rename the project as Client Enterprise Library. Click on OK button. Once the project is created, right click on the project, add new item, select a web form, click on add button. Now right click on the project, click add service reference. Before that we have to copy the URL. This is a URL up to ASMX extension. Let's paste here. Click on Go button. So we have Get Employee Details method. Click on OK button. It will create the proxy in the client application. Once the proxy is created, let's create the UI section. We need a button and one grid control. Get employees. Get employee request. This is the UI in which it looks. Double click on this Get Employee button. It creates the event handler. Now let's write service reference 1 dot client equal to new client. Client dot, let's call Get Employee Details. So it will return string has the response. Now the returned response we need to convert as a data table and insert in the grid. For that I have created a method for converting XML string to data table. Let's copy and paste. Now let's call. Now let's copy this. So it will return data table. Let's bind in the grid. Let's put a breakpoint here. Now let's run the project. This is the client application. Let's run the project now. Click on OK button. Click on this Get Employees button. So it goes to the web service, connects to the database and gets the employee details and converts as a string, XML string, returns the result. Once the service returns the result, it comes to the client application. So look at here, we have got the XML string here. Let's continue. So this will convert data table assigned to grid. Look at here, we get the response and is displayed in the grid. When we compare to the previous video, we have created a connection string, written a SQL database connection string command, opened the connection and read the connection and closed the connection and all those stuff. But when we look at here, those stuff will go away by using this enterprise library. Only we have to create the database provider factory for connecting to the connection string from the web.config. By using this db connection string .execute dataset, we get the complete data. So by using this enterprise library, we can minimize the code for connecting to the database. We will look in more details how to use, what are the benefits, what is the definition of this enterprise library in more details in the later video sessions. In next video, we will understand consuming web service project in different client applications. Thanks for watching. For references and resources, visit these links and subscribe to my YouTube channel for email alerts. Thank you.